some subaltern wreckage before. He's going to go ahead and use some of that wreckage and try to use that as evidence of a conflict. And of course, he will take a brief picture, like out in the woods. If I recall the world map, it is quite a way away to that like bottom left mountain area,
Sorry,
and they should never really go there. But
I moved you over. I forgot that I have to move you over.
it's okay.
So-
Yeah, it's like all the way over here. Last I recall, they were somewhere in this area to begin with, so I can always just
Oh, you found them there, but as far as I remember, you ordered them to scout somewhere here.
right, yeah, that area. So I'll end up in that area. I'll set up the subaltern bodies. I'll leave some scorch marks, and I'll take a picture with the handheld thing that I have. I keep forgetting what the handheld AI patience thing is.
Okay.
The cell phone, basically.
Concierge unit.
Concierge unit. There we go. So take a couple pictures with that, and when I go back, I can go ahead and report that it appears that there was, in fact, a skirmish. Subalterns have been known to be on that side of the river, and it looks like they encountered them.
So then go ahead and give me a roll how well your fakery was.
Alright, so what can I roll for fakery? We could do get a hold of to see if I got a hold of enough equipment, but I don't think I have a direct lie straight to their face thing, other than lead and inspire.
Be right back, phone call.
They gave their lives for the colony, If neither of those fit, I'll roll a d20 and we'll see. What do you think?
Yeah, your can roller get hold of with accuracy for your creativity.
Right, accuracy 1. Let's see if that rolls it with this. Do get hold of. I did that roll the d6 with it? Yeah, I think so. I see it in the highlight, I think.
Yeah, it's
16.
so yeah. He so he believes your little trick and says, it seems you weren't involved this time after all.
It's
Yeah.
just a shame. I put them to that mission. I didn't think it would be that dangerous out there. I'll I'll have to inform their families. If you'll excuse.
He nods.
I'm just it's a little funny. But it worked. I pulled it off again. Alright. So, Zero kind of minds his business and does the I'm pretending to go and tell their families kind of thing and puts that on his schedule, makes it obvious, Yeah. I've evaded most danger so far that I've put myself in by my own actions. And then suddenly robots attack. I can only imagine that's coming up next.
Oh, yeah. What's coming up? What's coming up next is this night or evening when you are in the local tavern. One of the militia approaches you, and both of you and wants to talk with you in private somewhere where you can't be overheard.
Of course. I've made sure that the tavern room upstairs is free of bugs. Let's go talk up there.
Yeah, you. So, yeah, I heard that you are very, how shall I say it? You have a big heart and are concerned concerned for the refugees, unlike our ruling government. I I'd like your help with getting more people into the city during the night, because with your increased clearance and trust people put in you, you probably could help moving some refugees into some of the empty buildings.
Hmm, I see. Well, I'm glad you came to me, but I'm worried if there's even enough space. That's been Patient's excuse so far. There's simply
No,
not enough. But there are plenty of empty buildings if we can get them in. What's
patients.
your plan? And what are your thoughts? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, patients' excuses, we don't have enough food and resources. We certainly have more than enough space. Yeah, my plan is plan so far was to take those refugees by the river and yeah, more or less swimming through it and making sure none of the militia, no others of the militia look into the direction during that time. So if you could make them not look to the river that during that time, that would be very great.
Hmm. I can see what I can do. They don't necessarily like the idea of me giving them orders anymore, especially not the Lancers. But I think maybe I can pull enough strings to suggest their patterns for the night.
If you have some other ideas to help, I'm open to anything that helps people in need.
Well, I know Cobra's been doing his best lately to try to reinforce that area. Uh, do you feel
Co-
that's insufficient so far?
Cobra, you can totally be part of that conversation if you want to. That approaches you was a plural you.
Okay, yeah, so Cobra can be in here too. Cobra, what do you
Okay.
think?
It's yeah. I mean, it's uh, let's be honest. If there really isn't an attack outside, a lot of people will die. And the more refugees get outside, the worse it will get. And there are still refugees coming every day.
Hmm. Well, I know I'm pushing my luck, but I do have a plan. Cobra, do you have any thoughts or ideas you'd like to suggest first?
Not at the moment, sir. I've done what I can, and I agree with what you're doing. I don't know if I want to be a part of disobeying direct orders to us.
Well, hopefully with my plan there wouldn't have to be any disobedience at all. You see, there's already been a failed scouting mission out to the west. In fact, there have been, because of this, we're aware that there might be a force out there that we need to be extra cautious about. I believe I can suggest a patrol in fear of a possible attack in the near future. If that can get enough eyes on the opposite side of the river rather than on the side you intend to swim to, I think that should be enough time for you to complete your own mission. Of course, I just have to hope that they still listen to me. As I've said, they have been pushing my luck lately.
So, and okay, that that would be helpful, and I respect your decision to not get directly involved. He's looking at Cobra. And
So, yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, just inform me when this is all happening.
I'll be sure to send a brief signal for when we're in place and you have an opportunity. And I'll briefly arrange with him, like, how that signal's going down and such, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I'm part of the militia. I will know when the others are ordered to go scout, so you don't even have to signal me.
Perfect.
It's,
Cobra, I understand, of course. Pretend as if you don't know anything, and act as you would.
So I don't know anything about what.
You're a good man, Cobra.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Zero's plan number 287, convincing them to listen to me once again. So I do have presence among the militia, and hopefully enough people who are willing to listen to me and my advice in general when I say that, given recent information in the loss of a scouting team on the west side of the river, I'm going to suggest a few patrols tonight to make sure that there's no incoming action. This should definitely help to ensure the city stays safe and help us keep an edge against any further incursion. If we let them get all the way up to the river, the city will be in far more danger than if we had the front line up against them already. So I'm going to try to lead and inspire them to just go ahead and listen to me and my orders.
will you also take part of the scouting mission?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Then,
have to get a nap tonight, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
then go ahead and take an accuracy dice.
All right. Accuracy, +1. Lead and inspire. 15.
Yeah.
Looking pretty good.
So yeah, you basically scout all the night, and the next day, if you do you go check the priorly empty buildings, or do you just
I
so
imagine that if I'm going to be in town and I'm wandering by, I'll just kind of like take a look at the window, and see. And just kind of note that, if they're full or not now. But of course, never mention it to anyone. I'm just taking a walk to the beach after all.
yeah, you recognize that a building that was empty prior is now occupied, but the people uh, try to be not so obvious about it.
Right. And of course, I'm not going to try to draw attention to them either.
Yeah.
Good deed should be enough. Well, once again, tricking literally everyone around me. Ah, I'm truly the mastermind.
Yeah, when Tyrell, the militiaman that Askew bumps into you, he says in a voice that nobody can hear, "Thank you, and I would very much appreciate it if you could continue this, so we can get more people into the city." And then he just walks off like nothing happened.
All right. Well, I got a whole extra bit of downtime stuff to do in the future then. Searching for the enemy? No, I gotta save the refugees. Oh boy.
Right?
Fun.
Yes, Cobra?
Oh, I just said fun.
Ah, fun. Okay. So, yeah. Uh, basically, what happens now is if you decide to stay in Evergreen and not to go to High Foam, slash if you decide to stay in High Foam and not to go to Evergreen, one part of your group, more refugees pile on. They pile on faster than Tyrell can get them into the city. But yeah, you notice that more and more buildings are occupied now, and because nobody looks there, nobody notices so far. The crisis response team under Wu is continuing their assessment, asking around, and yeah, the printer queue is now mostly filled with militia equipment, so they really stock up the militia and man the walls with even more people. So even with your nightly excursions, the walls are very well packed now, but Tyrell still manages to get people in.
So it does
So,
sound like they're setting up their defenses very well. I suppose I need to check in on that and see if they've changed their ideas at all. If they'd still prefer to have us here at all times, etc.
yeah.
The situation does look like it could be getting worse outside of the immediate colony. It's still prudent to investigate. So I'm just prodding them again about that, given times past.
Give me a second. The militia is very very strictly ordered to not let anybody in. So during the daytime, the yeah, they don't let anybody in who doesn't belong in there,
Mm-hmm.
and they even forbid to the refugees to make their own wall because they see there's a security risk if there is a lot of burnable wood in front of their nice little concrete wall. So, yeah, so you brought Wu about.
Yeah, I bother Wu about how are your preparations going? What do you think about the defense of the city so far? Do you think that this is enough to handle whatever might be coming?
Yeah. He looks at you and I don't think so, no?
That's unfortunate. As Lancers, I still have to say that maybe the best option would be to strike wherever we can before this gets out of hand and we are forced into a defense. But I can understand your priorities.
Our our priority is now to secure any sensitive data and material.
Then wouldn't you know it, I have just the mission to suggest. All we'll need is some vehicle to get us to the other side of the planet as quickly as possible. I don't suppose that you could spare the printer for a moment for a plane or the like.
Can't your mech fly?
Uh, well, Teal Chan, this is where I don't know how it would work, and I don't know if the flying mechs would basically be the same as planes. If they would be, then I'd probably just go ahead and say the mission's on.
No,
But
a
what do
plane
you
is
think?
Well, my
a
mech
pla-
only has jump jets, doesn't have an actual flight system. So it needs to end its turn on solid ground.
Hmm.
yeah. No, a flying mech isn't as good as a plane at all because basically you have to fly slow so that you don't overheat.
Hmm.
And your mech also has an NHP on it, so you can just fly through the night. But basically, what would take a plane maybe 10 hours would take you days.
Right.
And of course, leave you in a bad spot if anything would happen to take you up there.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was thinking. Like, it just would not be nearly as efficient. Uh,
And
and
of course, the problem that Cobra would have to print a real flight system.
Oh yeah, of course, that's right. So we'll take up more space on everyone's equipment load. So in response, I'm going to say, with things getting worse as they are, we don't really know when an assault might happen on the city or on any place nearby. If we head out and we need to return as quickly as possible to assist you in the defense, we'll probably need that plane to return as quickly as possible.
But I also got you right. All the forces that we thought did attack us are on this continent, and you want to scout the other continent, right?
Right. I suspect that might be where King Watcher's original location may be.
But his original location is not the location where his forces are.
Well, that's why I suggest cutting off his head before he gets too far. I want to find out where we can strike, and if we don't investigate, we'll never know. We might just have to fight wave after wave of subaltern. They could have a factory out there, you know.
Yes. They probably have.
Then, give us the assistance we need. Give us the plane. We can investigate the other colony and see what information we can dredge up before an assault occurs, and hopefully return before one as well. I think that would be the best case defense for the colony.
Well, he stays silent for a moment and thinks about it. Give me a check.
Alright, what kind of check do we want?
Oh,
I could be trying to inspire him. I could be trying to form an assault plan.
I mean,
What would you say I'm doing here?
here's
Just be trying to convince him so I can get a hold of materials.
I think get a hold of his vest. But
Okay.
what's take control? No, it's probably take control of the situation, right?
I think take control is usually. I don't know. How's take control really worded? It's been a while since I've looked at it.
I mean, it's not really inspire and it's not really a sword, but it could
Mhm.
be get a hold of or take control. So
Yeah, let's take a look at it. Where is it? Triggers. Will it blend? Take control. Use force, violence of will, or direct action to take control of something. Often, something concrete, like an object someone is holding. Someone's gun or keycard if they have it on their person. Ooh, wow, this is a way more direct than I was thinking. Granted, it's useful, but quote, it is never subtle. Maybe
yeah,
that's
then
off base.
okay, yeah, then it's probably get a hold of something.
Okay, let's give it a go.
Yeah, so
12.
okay. Yeah, you will have your plane, but just a plane for you, not for your max, because this is a scouting mission, right?
Hmm.
And you will head over there, gather whatever useful information you can, and then you will return or send it to us.
Well, fortunately, Lesser's mech is one half, so at least that's something we can work it. And Lesser's mech can go invisible, can't it?
Lesser?
Pretty sure it could.
I'm sorry, what?
Your mech can go invisible, can't it?
It cannot. No.
Oh,
Negatory.
dang,
Negative.
I really thought it could.
No.
Well, that's okay. At least it's human size and it'll fit on the plane.
Yeah. Lesser can go invisible, but
There's a mech on the plane!
Yeah, but the size 1 and size 2 mech aren't going. Alright. So, getting together with Lesser's mech and Cobra, and we have a new mission then. Our mission is to go to the other continent and to try to gather as much information as we can about King Watcher. There's another city on the other side of the planet, and I don't believe we have much information on it other than photographs. It could be a city of subalterns under the control of King Watcher. It could be old colonists. It could be more Hycernians. We simply don't know.
the you will be printed a small two-seater plane,
Mhm.
which doesn't have much room for cargo, and basically all the space is filled with extra fuel so that you have enough fuel to go both ways.
Mhm.
On no, screw that. They can do this super effective reactors right now. So yeah, but you don't have much cargo space. So
Right, we're not exactly bringing things to and from. We're just going for information.
yeah, but you, Cobra, 2 seats. Where does the mech go?
We can. We gotta squeeze it in somewhere. At least it doesn't have to be comfortable. It's not fitted out with like pain sensors or anything, right?
Oh, it's fitted out with a grumpy personality, and you might want to be comfortable. Maybe.
Yeah, this is true. So I guess those are options. Cobra, what do you think about this? You are essentially our key pin to all of this, I think. You're going to be scouting, you're going to be trying to stay hidden as much as possible, and your amount of backup is ultimately dependent on if or if not we can get this grumpy thing into the plane.
Well, then I say we fold it up like a contortionist and stick it in a 2x2 space.
Well, if you can convince it.
Well, I don't know how much I can threaten them back with.
Well, it responded last time. So maybe it'll respond again.
Fit in there in one piece or several.
It's okay. So yeah, it's very cramped now, but you make it work somehow. Do you notice pictures of a car where there are 70 people in it?
Yeah, this one is just like on the back headdress, just like laying flat on top of the engine or something.
Yeah, something like that. So, okay, then uh, I try to think about what I could still do this session. To be honest, I didn't prepare you going scouting overseas, and I
Right, of course.
don't want to bullshit you with wrong information, because then I would have to backpedal like big time or think so. Oh my god, what did I say? And yeah, so if you have any idea what we could do still do this session, go ahead. But I'd like to really read up the stuff
Mhm.
because it's by the official order comes way later. Let's just phrase it that way.
Right, we're getting like a sneak peek of the future here, aren't we? So that's gonna be
Yes.
fun. I guess we could always cover like more of what's happening with Lesser, unless you also need to think about what's happening with Lesser's story,
Yeah,
because
no,
they're basically solo right now.
yeah, we can go a little bit ahead with Lesser, but if we go too far ahead, I get into chronological issues. So, Lesser,
Yeah.
what do you do in the meantime?
So you're saying that I've infiltrated their systems as I previously described?
Yes.
Then I guess I'm gonna set up a way to communications. If you recall, that was my second lot, was to set up a way to communicate through the surface back to the main base via this place. So another long time frame.
So, what? I didn't get it acoustically.
So another long time frame.
So, okay. Yeah. They have a few points where they dug some wires through some radio antennas overground, but you are surprised there's still a lot of communication going on with runners. So
Yeah,
direct
no,
messages.
we know this because before they didn't have any direct way to communicate outside, which I was saying was, I'm going to use the word bullshit, but it's not bullshit, because they're trying to keep themselves, isolated, and being underground blocks most communication, so it's good for not being detected. But I'm saying that they still must have some sort of way to coordinate their external forces when they're out there, and I'm trying to wire through that. Which I'm fully aware might mean that I have to go out and physically set up some, like, radio dish or something somewhere. I'm just saying that I am trying to do something of that nature.
You can get access to their one of their few radio antennas, but it isn't really set up for long-range communication, more short-range communication. So if you know
Short
the
range
point,
is how far?
5 kilometers.
How far is it to orbit?
Usually like 11 to 12, I think. Well, I guess that's like the extent
No.
of the atmosphere, but orbit is usually a lot higher.
How far up is the ionosphere?
Like I
If
said,
I-
I think that's about 11 to 12 kilometers.
How far up
No.
does it take for ham radio operators to transmit?
Ionosphere.
Also,
Ionosphere is up to 80 to 1,000 kilometers above the surface.
okay, what about ham radio transmissions? How high? What do they bounce off of? Was it the ionosphere? That's what I want to say.
Oh.
Oh. And for reference, geosynchronous orbit would generally be about 35,000 kilometers. So you're not even in the ionosphere at that point. But I mean, you could always orbit lower and faster, so.
Yeah. Basically, if you go up there and set up a longer antenna to the same cable, that's all that's needed to catch different wavelengths and catch those wavelengths that bounce around the ionosphere, because the problem is the antenna and not the cable underground.
Well, no, the cable part would be to set up a way for the base to communicate to the outside world without having to be interrupted by anything else. It has nothing to do with the actual distance of the communication. Also, one has to wonder how the hell they set up a radio for only short-range communication. You said this radio can only communicate at 5 kilometers.
Yeah.
You would have to set up something like that specifically given how
It is kind of a dense foresty area.
right. But I mean, because even a ham
And
radio.
generally, transmissions are dependent on horizons and in things physically blocking the signal. So
Right.
there
So-
is bounce, of course, which is why you were mentioning the ionosphere. But
Yeah, because a
if
ham
it's not
radio.
strong enough, then eventually, it just kind of dissipates into the rest of the light wavelength.
Well, no, it dissipates into the app. Well, yeah, that's essentially right. But because even a low power transmission will eventually get out of the planet. So, well, like I said, if I have to, I will create a dish of my own to hide somewhere. Wire it up through a tree or something.
Okay, then let me take notes.
By the way, what pilot level are we again?
I believe 4.
4. We have 4 additional license ranks after GMS.
Right. Just want to make sure. I mean, my character stuff's alright. I was just, looking
Wait,
at
is that-
CompCon.
Total 4 or
Total 4.
Okay, because I thought ComCom. I thought the basic rank for what it was called was 1, not 0. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Then you, I note down you increase the radio communication capability of iPhone, and I guess you also.
Well, no, I don't want to. I don't want to increase their capability because they'll notice that.
Yeah, it's your secret inside radar dish.
It's
Yeah.
like when you're watching like a sci-fi, Star Trek, Star Wars, or whatever, and you have like somebody's on the ship and they're beaming transmissions back, and they're doing it through like some system that's not meant to be sending transmissions, or they're sending it through garbage transmissions or whatever. I'm trying to stealth my message sending through something else, or I'm going to create my own message network that's not connected to anything else so that they don't know about it. If I increase their message traffic, they're going to send somebody out to shut it down because they don't want it to be sending that far.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
it's-
even if I have to make a dish that will only send up to a Prudence satellite when it flies overhead, I'll do that. But otherwise, I'm set something of my own up.
yeah, but you still want to connect to the cables and go underground, right?
I never said that that was a thing that I had to do.
Okay, then I got you right. So you only want it overground, or?
I don't know all the options available to me, so I'm just blathering out ideas as they come to me. I want a secret communications network, and I'm saying ideas I can think of that would work in that way. Whether that be setting up my own satellite dish hidden in the woods, or, back tracing through the parts of their computer system that my computer or my NHP now has access and control over, to then send messages back that way. But that doesn't work because their system only goes 5 kilometers, so which means I have to do the dish thing anyway.
Yeah, but okay, then you connect the dish to their network and set your NHP to masking the additional traffic, so you can get it underground, but only you notice it.
And by our terminology here, you mean underground as in unnoticed, not underground as in physically underground.
No, I mean underground, so you can communicate from high foam.
Right, so you mean unnoticed and not physically underground.
No.
Unless you're
underground-
saying that I'm doing some sort of undersea cable from...
No, underground to high foam and unnoticed.
What do you mean underground? I'm confused by your terminology here. What do you mean underground?
Subterranean.
Yeah, but a dish doesn't transmit underground. A stormy day can mess up a dish. Well, I'm not gonna bury it.
Yeah, that's
I guess the point being is that they're underground, and you're trying to get a dish that connects to them, and then that connects to you when you're elsewhere. So
Right, that's why I said I'd hide
that's
it
how
in
I'm
a.
envisioning what's happening.
Right, that's why I said I'd hide it in a tree or something. I don't get why I would bury it underground. Well, congratulations, you made the dish, you set it up, now it's pointed at the ceiling of a giant cave. You fucking failure.
okay. So,
It just doesn't make sense, that's what I'm just saying.
Griffin, could you please translate for me? I think you got what I tried to say, but
What are you trying to say here?
it's yeah, you make a dish, and the dish is overground, but you connect your dish with cables to the already existing cables that go underground, so that you have now communication that's reached from undergrounds to above grounds.
See, that makes
You
more
didn't say
sense,
that.
yeah. Well, no, I'm just
Okay.
saying, that made more sense than you make the dish, it's underground. Because that doesn't make sense.
Okay, yeah, then
But it does sound like mission accomplished then.
yeah, because
Alright, well then I'll wait for the satellite to be in orbit or whatever.
and
Transmit all of their information back to Prudence? Patience. Too
Yeah,
many.
Prudence was the other planet. I know. We.
Well, it's not my fault we named them both P names. I know at this
Colonial has a naming scheme. They'd be fools to stop now.
point we've been here longer, I think. But since
Yeah.
Prudence came first, Prudence is the one I remember.
yeah, you've been on Cyhania, was that? Hycernia is here. Zuhulu was the first one, and Zuhulu is you were there 2 sessions, and we're here now 7 sessions or so.
Look, I'm only certain of one thing, and that's I'm 100% sure I'm not paid to remember the names of these places.
Yeah, that's why I make notes. Okay.
No, I mean in character. I'm not paid to remember the names of these places. I'm
Okay.
probably just gonna call every NHP P now. Hey P, what's up?
Yeah. And P is short for non-human person.
No, just patience, prudence. They're all P's.
I was kidding. Okay, then yeah. You sorry for the slightly shortest sessions. We were talking about license level. You get another license level for next session. So it's
Ooh, very fun.
5 then, if I remember correctly.
Yep, we would be at 5.
As just discussed.
Yeah. So, yeah. Feedback time.
How are you feeling about this? We're not going too crazy with the stuff we're doing or anything, right? It does seem like we threw off like any plans you had, but I was honestly expecting like, oh right, we're about to be totally attacked, aren't we?
No, it's this campaign basically invites you to go super crazy. I mean, it's very open-ended. The players have like 100 choices. It's not like one of those classic D&D campaigns where it's
Here's your dungeon. Go to the next door.
yeah. I mean, even if it's in the city, you're always more or less forced back on track, and then you find out this, and then you find out this, and you have 3 ways. And here it's possible to blast through the whole campaign without ever making contact to the Hysonians or finding out that Gregorians exist.
Yeah.
And there they have several ends envisioned, like, and some ends end like
I can see
half
like
the
the
campaign.
AI takes over, Landmark Colonial takes fully over,
Yeah, but
the Gregorians take over, stuff like that.
yeah, but some ends really end about the half of the campaign or so, and not.
Oof.
So, yeah, yeah. I mean, so this
How do you
campaign
feel?
really,
Yeah, go ahead.
invites you to go very off. So it's not the
Mhm.
easiest to GM, I admit, but yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I've been having fun with the actions I've been doing. I feel generally successful in what I've done. And I know, like, really early on when we started, like, the whole Lancer series, we were a little worried, like, oh, we're not doing quite enough RP, you know. But I think we've gotten like some solid characterizations going. We got stuff going on, and it feels good now. How do you feel about that?
I've been nigging it, and I do think that Cobra will be going more towards Zero's side and things, in
Hmm.
trying to help these people more, and kind of fuck what the company says. We'll
Yeah,
see what happens.
it doesn't matter what character I'm playing. Like, I can't help but be a bleeding heart for literally everybody. It doesn't help either that this the character concept is based off of a character who's ultimately a revolutionary. So, maybe at some point the contract will get ripped up, but we'll see what happens. Zero's literally trying to play games here. So it all depends on like what comes back on him. I mentioned earlier, like he has those two favors. I'm like, oh, that could come up at any time. That's gonna be fun. Let me just build a bigger list. Next time I'll like start asking for more and more off-world stuff. Landmark Colonial will be like, oh, where'd this military come from? It's like, oh, don't mind that.
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah.
the favors will probably not come back to hunt you while you're still on this planet.
One can hope.
Yeah.
Watch as he's slowly doomed them all to be taken over by an AI in the future. I'm not entirely sure what you have in mind, Theta, so we're gonna discover that, I'm sure. You've accomplished your goal, but we don't know to what end.
I've accomplished nothing.
You can basically hack back into them at any point now. You kind of have control.
Whatever. A third, 2/3 of the planet?
I guess.
There's a whole other city on the other side of the planet.
And you can't come.
Sure I can. I have 2 high level NHPs. That's 1 over there. I have more raw computing power than it does. I could brute force my way through it if I have to.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm curious to see where you're going to go with all this.
I mean,
The only thing left on my mind right now is the mechs themselves. I'm working towards getting that rank 2 Monarch, so maybe I'm about to have a lot of firepower, and that'll be really nice. I'm definitely gonna miss going invisible all the time if I use it, though.
I've been thinking about a death's head myself. If maybe you want to look at that with me later.
Hmm. I think I was recommending that to Rafferty before, and that's a fun-looking sniper mech. And if you combine that with something marker lighting something and just allowing you to crit it, yeah, it looks fantastic.
I still have my triple displacer build.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's 30 damage in a round.
Oh yeah, I'm still basically leaning on support, but I'll have more fire damage to help support people with now, so that'll be good.
And I am
Yeah.
useless to everybody. I had
Honestly, like, your defensive abilities have been really, really good. I really like what I'm seeing out of the horror stuff. Where initially I was kind of really dismissing its ability to make clones and stuff.
I rather meant that my character is useless to everybody. The fact that I had also put a NPC into my thing so that it could still be there to help you guys
Yeah.
doesn't
I
mean.
mean, like, you're doing your thing, which is, your habit, I kind of expect that. But yeah, it's really to the point of, man, here's an AI thing, and if only we had our hacker. It'd be nice to draw you back in.
Well,
And
I
I'm
am.
gonna try keeping you if you come back.
I am dealing with it. Also, if you're gonna put an electronic device on me, the hacker.
Yep, I'll just be like, honor system, right?
Yeah.
Break my
Surely,
trust again, see what happens.
surely me, the guy who's building building cyborgs in a garage, clearly couldn't get off of this, ankle
Look, see,
bracelet.
it's tamper-proof. If you try to open it up, it spills ink everywhere.
Yeah, I had one of those on my car.
You'll be disgraced. You'll have like a splotch on your pants.
Oh god, I guess I'll have to wear socks now.
The terror, the horror, I know.
Hmm.
But,
He
but yeah,
doesn't.
I'm trying to like think of a solution that is, all right, you're clearly AWOL and there needs to be some kind of punishment, and you're a player and I want you to keep having fun. So I'm trying to think of things I can do here that aren't terribly unfun. Hence the get you the ankle bracelet. So we'll see what happens when we come to it.
I think the problem isn't that I'm not having fun or that I'm not engaged in the story or anything. It's just I have my own very direct solution to the entire problem, and all it requires is time. And unfortunately, my time happens at the same time as your time happens, so I'm just sitting
Right.
off on the sidelines doing my thing at the same time.
Right. Well, when I was saying my statement, I didn't mean like implying you aren't having fun or doing your thing. I mean that specifically as the character who is ostensibly the XO of the mission, I could make you have a lot of unfun, and I want to avoid that as much as possible.
You know I'm down for that too.
I know you specifically are. I could probably shoot you and be like, hell yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm maybe not so much getting into an actual physical fight between us, because, that's not panned out well in the past. Well,
Yeah.
it did once, it's how we met.
Imagine two nerds just like grappling with each other for an hour.
Well,
We're
I
gonna be
mean,
right back where we started.
we always go back to the how we threw each other out of a window. We did kind of meet on those terms.
Exactly. So, uh, ultimately, I'm gonna try like taking the zero dealing with lesser plot in a way that hopefully doesn't completely derail everything and make you want to go like totally AWOL and start a fight. That's gonna be my aim in the future.
I mean,
If it does come down to it, it'll be fun. But
I think it would be a pretty cool way to reveal our hands. Like, you've got all this shit that you're gonna pull out. I don't know what you were talking about before with the military thing.
Mhm.
And then my hand, whatever that is. I don't know, just...
Unfortunately, the military thing's mostly a joke. I've honestly already accomplished my goals.
Here's the thing that you just gotta think about, though.
I'm Ozymandias over here. It's like I wouldn't tell you about him if he had any chance of affecting them anymore.
Yeah, yeah, Watchman, Ozymandias. I thought you meant statue in a desert, Ozymandias. Because you're
I'm
already
sorry, I forget
done.
that there's actually a more famous
Yes, Ramses II, otherwise known.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, no, I mean, you've got to think about it in character how a noble and an XO on a mission deals with an insubordinate officer.
hmm
Because, I mean, you had the benefit of being another character. Because if it was an NPC, who knows what the hell would happen.
Yeah, if it was an NPC, it'd be like, yeah, they're going to be really mad at you and do everything in their power to basically take you off the mission. And it's like, that means not playing anymore. That's not fun.
Well, no, I meant the other way around. If you had
Oh,
an
yeah.
insubordinate player, NPC under you, that could mean anything, and then you'd have a harder time dealing with them. Whereas you know
Yeah.
me, which means it probably makes it even harder.
So we're going to have some fun figuring that out for sure. Hopefully this is all working out for you too, Teal Chan, and this won't be like terrible for you.
No, it's interesting.
Yeah, we got our dynamic. So I'm having lots of fun. Seems Theta's having fun. So everything seems good so far, at least. And I get to see how many missiles I get now.
I think I literally get nothing else from leveling up other than grit, because
Oh.
I'm not really using anything else.
Oh yeah, you kind of just have your build right now, don't you?
Yeah, I'm basically done. The rest of the game is just getting better stats, I guess.
Yeah, more trigger, better talents.
Well, no, I'm
Hey,
saying that
so-
I get nothing else from
Yeah.
any of the mech licenses that I put in because I'm done. I'm there.
I guess you could always consider in terms of what would you do as a secondary role if you thought that you didn't want to do your first for a specific mission.
You mean if I didn't want to be the hacker on the guy who only hacks?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could be a different hacker. Like, there's the.
Oh, it could be a different hacker. I could biohack.
Exactly.
I could be the
Well, no,
geneticist.
I mean, like, the goblin, I think it is. That's the one you're using right now.
Yeah. Goblin
Yeah.
Kobold.
Goblin like has a very specific set of abilities when it hacks, where it's like doing illusions, setting up cover, and moving people around a little bit. And I think there's like the metal mark, where you basically just move everyone around or pin them down.
I'm already too into
Minotaur as well.
I'm already too into Kobold, which is like big making terrain and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no. I am what I am. That's all that I am. That's Popeye
Yeah,
the Sailor Man.
There's the general observation in the official Discord that at around level 6 your core build is finished. And I mean, okay,
Yeah.
4 is a little bit early, and then you just refine it. And so, yeah, I guess you just managed to hit it 2 levels early.
No, that's why
Yeah,
everybody.
It entirely depends on if there's a toy you want to add to your systems or something.
That's why everybody does their pre-mates up to level 6, and nobody understands why people make level 12s.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of after that is versatility.
I'm already versatile as hell. I affect reality. I mean, at this point, I'm just making new mechs and seeing how they look.
Maybe just get your artillery back and have it in the background for like, oh yeah, I had this the whole time, guys.
The specifically for Arcloid, if you want to change stuff around, I remind you there is the retrofitting rule option. So
Retrofitting?
yeah, you can switch licenses around, so you can give back some license and take some other, or switch talents out, switch a talent for another. So if you switch your role, you maybe want to switch a talent too. It's just an
Okay.
option. It's somewhere in the core rule book. So basically,
Alright.
about the mech part, the only thing you can't retrofit are the haste skills. But everything else, licenses and talents and what do I forget?
License, talents, triggers.
Yeah, trigger is you can't switch triggers, but my triggers is non-combat or non.
Yeah, I think that's like the one thing you can't trade out.
Yeah, you can't. You also can't trade out hate skills. So
Hates?
yeah,
All agility systems engineering, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, it's an acronym in the rulebook. Hate skills. Yeah, and when you mentioned IT or geeks grappling, I did combat sports some years back, and in our group, in our martial arts group, we were all IT people, the whole group. So
Nerds with kung fu. Oh no.
yes, exactly. So, and it's super funny when people didn't know we were at a conference, and one of my female coworkers who was also training with me was threatening me in air quotes. So, yeah, if you continue speaking with I kick you in the face. And somebody who didn't know us was like, What the fuck? How do you treat each other? And no, we train combat sports together. Oh yeah.
Hey, Ark, do you have get somewhere quickly?
Let me check. I just closed my sheet and let them back up.
Yeah, I'm considering like getting that or like investigate, I think, because investigate is the thing I keep doing literally all the time.
You can take triggers to 6. You know that, right?
Yeah, and getting like more leadership or doing the thing I do all the time, which is like get a hold of things or reading situations seems good too.
I don't have get somewhere quickly yet, but it was something I was planning on taking.
Okay, if you do it, I'm gonna nix it from my mind then.
All right.
Because then that basically means you're flying the plane. Congratulations. I'm gonna have to rescue my pilot next mission. But yeah, investigate seems like a good thing, but I don't know. I could just be the guy who keeps getting a hold of people. I know everyone at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna get a hold of people.
You know why I think I beat you there, Griff?
Why?
You know everyone, but I know you.
Oh no.
It means I don't have to know everyone. I know you.
Exactly. It's like having someone who's the fixer on the team is actually really nice.
Yeah,
Talents are gonna be hard.
Murdoch didn't need to know everyone. He had face.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm gonna go up and hack her at all.
Literally, that's what I
feel
just
like,
did.
yeah. Like, the last thing, Argument of Kings, really cool, but requires teamwork and setup, which honestly we kind of lack.
Or just being able to
Safecracker is
solo a
pretty
thing.
cool, but I don't hack people enough, so. I gotta find another thing. I've maxed out Leader, I've maxed out Tactician. I guess I just do the missile things now. I don't know. I gotta figure this out.
I just read up retrofitting on page 33. The third thing you can retrofit is core bonus.
Oh yeah, you can totally trade that out. That's a fun one.
Yeah,
That's good to know.
I
All right, I'll have a look at that with Griff later.
Yeah.
But right now I'm gonna go off of the call here.
Okay, man. I'll catch you around later.
Thanks for the game, Tilton.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
running.
Then I'll write you up once I know. So maybe next week.
Okay.
Okie doke. And I'm gonna read and make decisions. So I'll catch you around later.
Bye.